Hello, and welcome to the Siemens Connect podcast series with your host, myself, Christine Moran. If you're new to listening, each podcast will have a special guest from our Siemens Connect ecosystem. Our Siemens Connect ecosystem allows Siemens to partner with third-party companies to establish integrations to the Siemens systems. Today, we're going to be talking with Kam from our partner AlertOps. Hey, Kam, how are you?
I'm doing well, Christine. How are you?
Good. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm Kam Srikanth. I head up the solutions team here at AlertOps. So develop strategic integrations with interesting tools, and Siemens definitely being a leader in the facilities management space piqued our interest, and we took it from there.
Cool. Yeah. So as I mentioned, you're from AlertOps. So do you want to tell me a little bit about AlertOps and what they offer?
Yeah, absolutely. So AlertOps is an incident response automation and alert management tool. So really from IT, facilities management, operations, marketing, support, whatever it is, we ingest signals from other tools and then automate multi-channel alerting. So if email is just not enough, you might need a phone call, a push notification, a text message for responders that are actually going to help you resolve the issue, and then stakeholders who really just need to be involved and have some visibility around the incident. So outside of the actual alerting, we automate the process of record keeping. So we can create, update, and maintain records in various systems such as work management and ticketing platforms, just to maintain a single pane of glass and a single source of record. So our workflow engine is really at the core of our product, which dynamically allows you to build logic and rules and tells you, all right, this is at issue type A, and for issue type A, I want to kick off these series of processes. So the system is smart enough to know who to notify and how to notify them, along with what processes you'd want to automate.
Oh, wow. Yeah. So you do a lot. Do you want to, walk through an example of, how an incident would get logged and, how AlertOps would help facilitate that?
Yeah, absolutely. So, for example, if we're talking about data centers or facilities management, for example, if there is an issue with the power if there's an issue with the switch on a server rack going down, and at that point, we would have a monitoring tool. So in this case, Siemens proprietary system, ingesting and kind of providing granular insights with respect to what's actually happening, right? And as a byproduct of that, AlertOps would ingest that signal, and we would determine who to notify. So if you have a floor technician in a data center that might need to go take a look at a specific site, and how you'd want to notify them. So do we use push notifications because there's not cellular access in certain regions, etc., as well as what other processes should be kicked off? Are we talking about logging a ticket within an ITSM tool such as ServiceNow, or creating an update in a platform such as Salesforce? Whatever that process looks like, we would go through and pretty much automate the alerting as well as record keeping and moving information from system to system as well as system to people.
Oh, wow. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. So when you're logging incidents, like what type of incidents are being logged?
Pretty much anything, right? So we're platform as well as use case agnostic. Obviously, we specialize in a few areas such as IT, operations, facilities management. With that said, though, anything that's capable of sending an email or posting to an API, AlertOps can ingest that data, and then as a byproduct of that, build rules, logic, and automations that can automate your processes throughout the course of this incident or throughout the course of this event. So if it's an HVAC system or an application error or a network error, whatever it is, a system that can communicate with AlertOps can facilitate these types of incidents.
Oh, okay. So pretty much any kind of thing you can think of as an incident could be logged. Like, for example, if, there's something wrong with a chiller.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So if there is an issue, then we would essentially just ingest that signal, and you can build the logic around there. It's not necessarily restricted to any particular type of incident. Anything that can send data, AlertOps can go ahead and facilitate as an incident.
Oh, nice. And so you kind of talked about like being like a kind of single pane of glass for like alerts. So what are the benefits of having a system like this compared to how things, work before if they didn't have something like this?
Yeah, absolutely. Right. So from facilities management standpoint, the purpose of smart buildings is optimization, right? Whether it's energy consumption or safety or controls over how you want to actually facilitate certain operations as well as certain devices within your system. So it's really meant to give you the optimal experience as either a resident or someone that's inside that building. So in order to facilitate that optimal experience is key to resolve issues as they occur, right? If your cooling system has an issue, if you have an issue with your ventilation, whatever it might look like, we would need to ensure that you have maximum uptime as well as the lowest amount of incident response time. So with that said, there's kind of two key pieces in there. When you can automate something, you should automate it, right? If it requires human intervention, absolutely, we would need some level of human intervention. But as far as notifying the appropriate floor technician or potentially creating a work order for something, all of those processes don't need to take the initial 30, 40 minutes that they might take in order to get someone out there and get something resolved. So visibility to technicians is really one key piece of it. And then when we're talking about stakeholders, that is also part of providing that optimal experience. So within a building, if individuals are within a smart building, at that point, they expect to know as well as be made aware of anything that might be problematic immediately when it happens. So this is beneficial in maintaining some level of customer experience, right? If we talk about an incident that occurs with an air conditioning system and the client doesn't know why the temperature in the building is 800 degrees for 30 minutes, at that point, that's a poor customer experience. So just letting them know even that someone is on it, as well as the fact that as an organization, from a facilities management standpoint, we have recognized it, that reassures the customer that, okay, we have caught the issue and it's going to be resolved. So maintaining that level of customer satisfaction as well as efficiency during response is kind of critical there.
Oh, nice. And something that you mentioned too, that, you have to alert different people based on these, different incidents happening or whatnot. Are these people being alerted, by a workstation or like sitting at a desk, or are they able to get things on the go, like as they're walking around the building?
A mix of both, right? So we're a completely web-based platform. With that said, we can perform desktop notifications, but also mobile notifications, right? Whether it's email, whether it's SMS, push notifications via mobile app, an actual phone call, or if you're actually sitting at a desk and you're using a chat tool like Microsoft Teams or Slack or WebEx. Pretty much most communication channels that are leveraged on a day-to-day basis, AlertOps can notify on. So in the case someone is on the go, there's no real restrictions as far as them being made aware that something's going on.
Oh, sweet. Yeah. So that's pretty good. So as you know, AlertOps is part of our Siemens Connect ecosystem. So what got you guys interested in joining?
Yeah. So obviously Siemens is a leader in the space, and we are heavily invested in the IT and operations segments, but we've recently, over the past few years, had some success helping large data centers optimize their incident responses, specifically with their actual racks themselves, but also with additional devices, right, such as HVAC systems. So as a byproduct of that, we saw that Siemens was an expert in the space and wanted to kind of leverage your expertise as well as some of the things that you do well. One, for us to understand what a facilities management use case might look like beyond what we're doing today and how we can optimize our processes. But then two, because the Desigo system provides such granular insight and AlertOps is heavily data driven, we felt that there could be definitely a good partnership there from a standpoint of one, providing comprehensive insight from Siemens, and then AlertOps automating the visibility and response.
Yeah, that's actually perfect. That's kind of, obviously why we brought you guys in here too. Like when you're saying you're looking beyond kind of just the use cases of, what you're capable of. So we're happy to have you as one of our partners. So I've got one more question for you. So if listeners have to take one thing away from this podcast, what should they take away?
Really, I I would say probably the value and the core of real-time operations. When we talk about real-time operations and just real-time as a phrase, a lot of people immediately go to something that's internet-based or an online application or a shopping cart, right? But real-time has no longer restricted to the cloud. It's starting to play a role within facilities management itself. Everything today is digital in some capacity or another. And as a byproduct of that, consumers expect the best service, the quickest service with minimal issues. So extending visibility and automation and applying them to building and facilities management is really crucial to embedding and driving real-time operations to kind of facilitate the customer experience that people expect.
Cool. Well, thank you for joining us today, Kam, and thank you to everyone who has taken the time out of our day to listen to us. Please remember our entire series is on demand, and for more information on AlertOps, please visit the marketplace. And also be sure to look out for our next episode.